Hello, Verbling.com members. Yes, you are connected to another English class here on the best place on the internet to learn a second language. Verbling.com is where 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can connect directly, face to face, with a real live English instructor, a native speaker. In this case, my name is Geoff Watson. I am from Vancouver, Canada, and you can interact with this teacher to express your ideas and have them listen to you and give you corrections, give you positive correction. You can do reading, you can focus on your vocabulary, you can focus on pronunciation. And of course, in my classes, I always recommend to all of my students to focus completely on understanding the text, the audio, and the videos that we cover during our classes. And of course, I am desperate to have students come to my Facebook page and to post specific ideas of the things that you are interested in. Even if you post links and ideas in your own native language, I can follow the links, translate it, and find the same materials in English. I'm a native speaker of English. I can be your native guide to the endless supply of fascinating things to read, listen to, and watch that exist on the internet. Okay, so this hour we have another story from the incredibly successful series of books that have been released under the name of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Chicken soup, soup made with chicken. Chicken soup is thought of as a homemade remedy or treatment, but a homemade remedy for someone who is not feeling very well, someone who is feeling sick. Okay, showing you prepare chicken soup for someone to show them that you care about them and that you hope that they will feel better. So these stories have been written by the people who experienced the stories, and they have been shared in hopes that they will make you feel better. And so this story is about a surprise birthday party. And so I'm hoping that people have stories about surprise birthday parties that they have attended, surprise birthday parties that they have organized, or has anyone organized a surprise birthday party for you? Okay, so let's get started. What I would like to do is to say hello to Atil.
Hello.
Are you there? Hello, welcome. Where are you connecting from? And have you ever been to a surprise birthday party?
Surprise? Yeah. I have attended, but actually, that was scared me.
It was, sorry?
That was scared me, afraid me.
Oh, it scared you.
Yeah, scared me. Yeah.
Now, the party was for you?
Yes, for me.
Okay. And so it scared you. It really surprised you.
Yeah, because the inside was very dark.
Okay.
And suddenly everybody started to laugh, and I said,
Laugh?
"What happening?"
Yeah. All right, great. And what birthday was that? Was it like an important birthday, like 20, 30, 40?
No, 21.
21.
Yes.
Now that's an important birthday, is it?
Yeah, maybe it was 2 years ago.
Okay. All right. So congratulations. Excellent.
Thank you.
And so Omar, what kind of stories do you have about surprise birthdays?
I actually organized one birthday. It was for my friend 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I called all our friends and told them that we are making a party. Most of them were surprised because on Facebook he has a different date. I don't know, for
Okay.
some reason he is posting in his wall that his birthday date is somehow different. I don't know
Yes.
why. So we gathered all around, and it was really surprise for him
Okay,
that
yeah.
gathering all the friends in the same house.
And did you surprise him? He was
Yes,
surprised
all of
at the
us.
end. Good.
Yes, actually, he was surprised. He
Yeah.
jumped. He
Yeah.
jumped.
All right, great. Yeah, and personally, I don't put my correct birthday on Facebook just because it's a piece of personal information. So, yeah. Has anybody ever thought of that? Okay, great. And I'd
No.
like to say hello to Rodrigo. Welcome.
Hello, teacher.
Where
Thank
are you
you.
connecting from? And do you have a
I'm from
story
Brazil.
about a surprise birthday party?
Of course, I do. I am teacher, so I have lots of students, and sometimes they do some birthday surprise for me,
Okay, nice.
and I love that.
Yeah, great. And so, can you give me an example of something that really surprised you?
um, I, there was a day. It was my birthday, and I was so, I don't know how to say. I was so uh,
Stressed?
yes,
Busy?
yes. I was so
Okay.
stressed with them.
Okay.
And they
Ah,
were
okay.
organizing a party for me.
Okay.
and and I was really surprised with that. So happy
Okay.
before.
Yeah, nice. So you were getting annoyed at them.
Sorry?
They were not doing what you were telling them to do. You were starting to get a little bit angry at them.
Yeah, so the
Yeah,
word
okay.
is angry. I was
Yeah,
so
okay.
angry.
Okay.
Oh my
All right,
gosh.
great. But surprise. Okay, excellent. And Halil, please turn on your microphone. You need to click on the Google screen, the top right-hand corner. There's an icon of a microphone. It's usually colored red. You need to click on that to turn on your microphone. There we go.
Microphone says
Yes, please go ahead.
from Turkey.
Okay, great. And do you have a story about surprise birthday parties? Hello? Halil, do you understand?
Uh,
Perhaps no. The question is,
some English.
so, okay, good. So this is a birthday party that is a surprise. That is our topic for this hour.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. And I'm going to go and say hello to Ahmad. Hello, Ahmad. Ahmad, are you there? Okay, we cannot hear you, Ahmad, but there's Abdallah. Hello, Abdallah. We cannot hear you. And so what I'm going to do is to
Yeah,
move on. Oh,
I
yes,
can speak now. Yeah.
Ahmad.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah. Hello, how are you doing? Yeah,
I'm
Jeff.
fine. I'm fine. That's
Yes,
a very interesting
mm,
chair in your picture.
we're talking about yeah.
I really like it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
the design of the chair, very interesting.
Yeah, rocking chair.
Good, a rocking chair. Now, do you have a story about a surprise birthday party?
It wasn't a birthday. It was uh, because of one of my friends. He he was released from the hospital.
Hmm.
Yeah. So me and our friends arranged for a small party for him. Just
Okay, and so it was a birthday party, or it was a party to celebrate the fact that um, sorry, I'm trying to think of the word. Is it
released.
released from
I said
hospital?
released. Yeah, I don't know if you use
Yeah,
this word in English or not. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that because
perhaps.
of that. Yeah. He's one of my colleagues. Me and my colleagues at
One of
work.
your
Yeah.
colleagues
Yeah.
at work. Okay,
Yeah. We
okay,
went for that, and it was fun.
okay.
Yeah.
Good, excellent, great. And Abdallah, are you there?
Yes, hi teacher, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. Again, your volume is low and your voice is very relaxed, so please speak loudly for us. And do you have a story about a surprise birthday party?
No, because when I born, my father's dad, my father's mother dead. So from that time, I don't celebrate with with it occasion.
Your parents died when you were young?
No, my
Now, please, you
my
need to
gra-
speak louder or you need to turn up your volume, Abdallah.
yes,
I'm sorry, we cannot hear you well.
my grandmother.
Ah, your grandmother. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, but for other people, for coworkers, just in general, surprise birthday parties, is that a typical thing to do? Is that a common thing to do in Egypt?
No, it's uncommon here in Egypt.
Okay.
Most Egyptians don't celebrate his birthday.
They do not celebrate birthdays.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. And I would just like to say to Halil,
Yes.
please keep your microphone muted. So you need to turn off your microphone, and then when it's your turn to speak, please turn on your microphone. I have been turning off your microphone. Yeah, thank you. And so I'd like to say, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to the story. I'd like to bring this up, and I do warn people that this is somewhat advanced. So this class is advanced. Halil, you need to keep your microphone turned off, please.
Does my voice?
Yes, we hear you. So please turn off your microphone. Please click and turn off your microphone.
I don't have.
Yes, maybe someone could write
I don't
a
understand. Is
message.
closing.
Yes. Okay. I'd like to bring up the story, and I will we'll send a message to Halil in the Verbling chat box. And so I hope that people have taken the time to download the document. And I'm going to bring it up on the screen share so that we can start reading. And what I'd like to do is for Abdallah, could you speak loudly, please, and begin reading our story, please?
Yes, I from a chicken soup for the soul. Thanks, mom. The birthday by Wayne Summers. Adolescence is a period of rapid changes.
Sorry, I'm just going to move it down here. This is a quotation. Often these stories begin with a quotation.
Yes. Between the ages of 12 and 17, for example, parent ages as much as 20 years, also unknown. After my brother and
No,
I
sorry,
met,
I'd like to stop there. Just this is a humorous quotation. And so, again, we want to focus on understanding this text along with pronunciation and the meaning of words. And so, what does the person mean by this comment? Can someone tell me what the quotation means? It's supposed to be funny.
Adolescence period, the period هو men and women it changes some sexual characters.
Yes, okay. This is the adolescence, the maturing process. And so, what I'm asking though is for any one of the students to explain this quotation. And Halil, Omar, could you please help us by telling Halil that he needs to keep his microphone muted?
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm going to eject him from the class if he doesn't keep his microphone turned off. Yeah. But maybe you could turn on your microphone and tell him to read the verbling chat box.
Voice is my... Does my voice?
No, okay. I'm hoping that someone can speak to Halil in his language.
I
He does
don't
not
know
understand.
Turkish.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, anyone? Okay.
لطفا بك ميكروفونك apart منه استيور Halil.
Oh, okay. So let's try that. So could someone help me with the quotation? Adolescence is a period of rapid changes. For example, between the ages of 12 and 17, parents age as much as 20 years.
What does the first word means?
Adolescence? Adolescence is the period when teenagers change from children to adults. It's the maturity or puberty. Mm-hmm.
May I say? May I try?
Yes, of course. Help us,
Hello.
please.
Hello, my name is Hazel.
Yes.
I think the unknown author wants to say that between the age of 12 and 17, there are many changes in a person's life, as in adults' life we change about 20 years.
Okay. Now, that's very good. Now, remember, this is sort of advanced, and this is supposed to be funny, and so a sense of humor is hard to understand. And so, adolescence, yes, is a period of a lot of changes. So children change a lot between the ages of 12 and 17. But the idea is, what happens to the parents as their children go through puberty?
I understand now. It's very difficult for parents to raise the children on this period because they are very difficult during the adolescence.
And so the idea behind the quotation is that raising teenagers is extremely difficult.
Yes.
And so parents age 20 years trying to raise teenagers. And maybe that's the most difficult time to raise children. So great. Thank you. And Abdallah, could you read the first paragraph, please?
Yes.
And I need everyone, please, to keep their microphones muted so that we eliminate the background noise. So we ask everyone in all of the classes to please turn on your microphone to speak and then to turn off your microphone when you're waiting. Abdallah, go ahead, please.
After my brother and I began school, my mother got the first full-time job she had since getting married. It was important to her to regain some independence and meet some new people. Yet somehow she also managed to find the time and energy to keep our home looking immaculate. and to make sure we always eat healthy, delicious meals.
Okay, great. And so what are we talking about? We're beginning the story, and so what are we talking about in this first paragraph?
They work and raised raised up their children at the same
Yes.
time.
Okay, and we're talking about a mother. So a very special mother. This young man loves his mother because what did she do? And this is open to all of the students, please. And I'm looking for everyone.
She's a working mother.
Yeah, she's a working mother.
She's a working mother.
Yeah. So she works
So
full
she
time.
have work to do outside the house. Okay. For a long of time, she sacrificed by her social life in order to raise her parents. Recently, she started to work and socialize.
To raise her children. Sorry, yeah. And so at first, she stayed home to raise the children. But when they began school,
yes,
she got a full-time job. Okay. And other comments from other people? People are being very, very quiet. Please just turn on your microphone and make a comment. So we're talking about a supermom here. She has a full-time job. She keeps the house looking perfectly clean, immaculate, and she's making sure that the children are eating healthy, delicious food. So a great mom. Okay, let's move on. This is the sport of bowls. Yes, hello.
Hello.
Go ahead, please. Make a comment.
My comment is the next. In this moment, I am trying to know exactly what is the quote that you are reading, because I can see in my screen the quote, but not all the time.
Yes. Okay. Now, what you need to do is go to the verbling.com website and download the document. So find the information for this class and look for the document G2 and download the document. And Adam has put the link in the verbling.com chat box, and so has Edelbaron.
So okay, I will check this.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you for asking. Ahmad, could you
I will
please
be here hearing you.
Yes, good. Ahmad, could you please read this next paragraph for us?
Yeah, okay. Of course, having to live with 3 men wasn't easy. My father worked long hours and also spent time with his friends at the pub and local bowls club. My brother and I liked to bicker and argue over every little thing. On top of that, there was the usual mess associated with a household of men, with towels on the bathroom floor, clothes and toys scattered like confetti.
Yes, confetti.
Confetti in our bedrooms, and the tell signs across a freshly washed floor that someone hadn't wiped their feet before coming inside.
Okay, great. So again, this is the sport of bowls. My impression is it's usually played by older people, and it's on grass, and these are the balls that they use. And so you are trying to roll the large black balls close to the white ball, which is the target. And now, what is this? The writer of the story is a young man. He's talking about his mother. And what is he talking about here in this part? And again, I'm just asking people to make 1 or 2 comments, a sentence, that's all.
Okay, excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
I wonder the meaning of the bicker.
Yes, good. To bicker is the correct pronunciation, and it means to argue. So it means to fight.
Okay.
Yeah, to have a fight with words, to argue or bicker. Excellent. Thank you for your question. Another comment? And hello, Mine. Welcome.
Hi, Geoff.
So, any comments from people? What does it mean by she had to live with three men? Who are the three men?
The two boys and her husband.
Sorry, again? Omar? I'm sorry, Hazel?
The two boys and her husband, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and what's the problem with living with three typical men in North America?
The author is talking about the difficulty of having three men in the house.
Yeah.
For example, the dad and the author brother and the author himself.
Yes.
There is a lot of wet towels on the bathroom floor, clothes and toys scattered like a confetti in the bedrooms, and a lot of whipped in their feet before coming inside.
That's right. Well, they're not wiping their feet, so they walk in with dirty feet on a floor that has just been washed. And so the mother washes the floor, and then they walk in with mud or dirt on their feet. So yeah,
actually,
typical.
I have two brothers.
Yeah? Okay. All right.
So
great.
we have the same problem in our house.
Yeah, your mother has the same problem. Okay, great. Armando, are you there? Hello, Armando. Okay, we can't hear you, so I'm going to go to Atil.
Yes?
Yes, could you read this for us, please?
Sure.
These are the boys bickering.
Okay. I didn't do it, I'd say. Well, I didn't do it either, my brother would echo. Mom wouldn't even bother asking that. It looks like it was Mr. Nobody again, she'd say with a sigh. To my shame, my brother and I would sometimes be so aggravating that we would bring our mother close to tears, and I think we even succeeded a couple of times. Fresh arguments would then ensue.
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 Okay, which means begin. Okay, and to bring someone close to tears. And so, could someone please rephrase what the author is talking about here? Who is Mr. Nobody?
The one who made the mess.
Yeah, right. So if it wasn't the one boy or the other boy and it wasn't Dad, then it must have been Mr. Nobody. Okay, some magic fourth person, right? And to be aggravating, so frustrating.
To be angry.
Sorry, to be aggravating means that you make someone else upset. Mm-hmm. Well, no, sorry. If you're aggravating, that means you make someone else frustrated and angry, and you can make them cry. And so this boy is ashamed to admit that he and his brother made his mother cry a couple of times. They think they actually succeeded in making their mother cry. To ensue means to begin. Okay. All right, great. And so let's move on. Oh, there's Omar and one of his brothers. Okay. So let's continue. The boys are fighting again, and so Khan, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Yes, hello, welcome. Could you tell us where you're connecting from?
I read that.
Where are you? Where are you now?
Okay, I am from Turkey.
Okay, great. Could you please read this for us?
Okay. Look what you have done now. I'd snap. You did it, not me. Headhunter, will you two just shut up? My mother would scream, nearly going out of her mind. You two must really hate me, she said once. No, I don't. With chorus pointing at each other, I hate him. It seems my mother could never win, and no matter what she tried, peaceful times in our house never lasted for very long.
Okay, and so this is a common problem. Did anybody constantly fight with their siblings?
Yeah, when I was kid, I always fighting with my sibling.
Yeah. Now this is thank you. And now this is would. I would. This is the contraction for I would, and he would. Now this is the author is telling a story from the past that used to happen regularly, but does not happen anymore. We would, and the pronunciation is chorus. It starts with a K sound. Chorus. Okay, and so what this is using would to tell stories that used to happen in the past. So look what you've done now, I'd snap. You did it, not me, he'd counter. Will you two just shut up? Okay, so really frustrating and aggravating and irritating, and unfortunately, peaceful times never lasted very long. The two boys were constantly bickering, arguing, and fighting. The mother could never win. Those are all very, very common phrases that you'll hear regularly if you're listening to people telling stories. Okay, but the boys are growing older. And so let's go to Hazel, please.
In my 14th year, Mom developed an interest in her origins and began researching our family tree. I don't know how many hours she put in writing letters to distant family members scattered all over Australia and around the world. We didn't have a computer then, so everything was at the mercy of the postal system. And still, on top of this, she kept the perfect home, cooked wonderful and interesting meals, and put up with a moody teenager and a husband who spent even more time away from home.
Okay, and so the boys are not little boys anymore. He is in his 14th year, which we usually say when I was 14. And so what did she do? And I'm going to show the picture here. And again, I'm not trying to ask anything difficult. I'm just asking people to please. Yeah.
Her mother wanted to make a research about her ancestors.
We say to do research, yes.
To do research about her ancestors, about her family.
Yes, good. And how did she do it? And anyone can answer. And I'd really like participation from everybody, just short comments from everybody.
I think she is trying. I think she is trying to find her family by scattering names on the tree.
Yes. Okay. Now this is a
picture letters.
Yes. Okay. So this was before computers.
Yes.
We didn't have a computer then, and
to send mail. So she need to write letters to her relatives.
Yeah. Now it sounds like most of them were in Australia, but other places in the world. And so great. And all at the same time with her full-time job and the perfect home. And what about her husband?
Her husband apparently worked in and he was missing usually from home.
Yeah. And remember, he spent time with his friends at the pub and playing bowls, so perhaps he wasn't the greatest father or husband.
I think she should divorce him.
Yeah, okay. She should have. He should have divorced him. Yeah, right?
Yes.
And what happened to the boys? They were always fighting, and now what are they like? At least the author. He describes himself as a moody teenager.
Moody teenager, yeah.
They change their. They were moody.
Yeah, I think in English usually moody is sort of sad and depressed and
Miserable.
yeah, miserable. Oh, good. Yeah, excellent.
Yes.
Okay, so great. But she, I added that picture from Google Image, so this has nothing to do with the story. But there's someone's family tree that goes from father to grandfather to great-grandmother to great-great-grandmother to great-great-great-grandmother. So it goes all the way back several generations.
Yes.
All right, and so I would like to ask Mine, is it your turn to read?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Hazel, did you read?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Mine, please.
Around this same time, I developed a modicum of maturity. I could appreciate how hard Mom worked for us and how difficult it sometimes was for her to live with all the tension that pervaded our house. It was then I decided to do something really special for her upcoming birthday. I wanted to show her how much I really loved her. My grandparents lived across the town, and one day after school I rode my bike over to ask them a favor.
Okay, great. And so he's saying that he developed a modicum of maturity. And so a little bit, a reasonable amount, a small amount, something like that. And so what did he want to do?
He wanted to do special for her mother, for his mother,
Good.
Birthday.
for the birthday.
Yeah. All right. Something special for her birthday. Who's going to help him?
I think he wants to ask help from his grandparents.
His grandparents, probably. Yeah. Okay, great. And so he's finally realizing that how hard his mom works and how difficult it is for her to live with all the tension that pervaded, which means kind of filled their house. So it didn't sound like a very happy home, or at least there was a lot of tension. Okay, so let's keep moving on. Omar, could you read this for us, please?
It's Mom's birthday soon, I began, and I was thinking of having a surprise party for her. What a fantastic idea, said Man. I was wondering if I could have it here, I asked. Nan looked at the granddad, and I knew from their expressions that I hadn't quite won them over yet. It's just an afternoon tea, but with the cake and presents, and I'll pay for everything, I said. I meant it, too. I'd been working at the local supermarket for 6 months and had accumulated a few dollars, which would just which would just about cover the goodies we need for the party. I wouldn't have much left over, but Mom was worth it.
Okay, great. And now I'd like to ask people, anybody, Omar, you can start if you want, though. What are some of these? What is the author saying here? This is a good scene. This is a boy going over and asking his grandparents if he can have a party at their house. And so what's happening here?
Despite the fact that he is out of the budget, yet he is trying to collect some money for his mother in order to return the favor for her mother. Just make her happy.
Yeah, for his mother. Now, okay,
his mother.
Right? Someone else with a how did he make the money?
He works as.
Sorry, go ahead.
He worked at a local supermarket.
Right. So he had been working at the local supermarket. This is I had been working. Okay. And when he first asked Nan and Granddad, Nan is a way of saying grandma, what did he say? He said, I knew from their expressions that I hadn't quite won them over yet. What does it mean to win over someone?
The first expression, they don't believe him, I think so much.
Sorry, could you repeat that, Mine?
I think the first expression, they don't believe him so much.
Ah, okay. No, sorry, they believe him.
They are on his side.
Sorry, it's kind of the opposite.
Didn't convince them.
Right. Okay, so he hadn't convinced them yet. He hadn't won them over yet. So he said, hey, I was wondering if I could, and now that's a good way for you to ask someone for a big favor. All right, I was wondering if I could, and then you use the verb in base form, have it here. And the expression they gave him was that they didn't really want to have the party. Yeah, he had not won them over yet. He had not convinced them yet. And so that's why he's saying, it's just, don't worry, it's just an afternoon tea. And look, hey, I'll pay for everything. This is, we're using I will. When you volunteer to do something, I will pay for everything. And he meant it. So he wasn't just saying, I'll pay for everything, expecting the grandparents to say, no, 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 we'll pay for it. No, he meant it. He was telling the truth. He wanted to pay for everything. So he had, we don't really say accumulated a few dollars. He had saved a few dollars, and yeah, would just about cover everything, the goodies, the food, all the snack foods and things. Okay.
Yeah, he's trying to convince them, yes.
Yeah, but, and then now earlier someone said, I think it was maybe Mine, that they didn't believe him. Now, maybe when he said, I'll pay for everything, they didn't believe him. But he meant it. He meant it. He's got the money, and he wants to do it because, hey, his mom was worth it. Okay? She was worth spending all his saved money on. Okay, so let's, oh, here's a, you have to keep a secret. Don't tell anybody. Don't mention it if you're ever invited to a surprise birthday party. Hush. That's the sound that we make when we tell someone to be quiet. That's one of the sounds anyways. All right, and so let's go back to Ahmad. Could you read this, please?
Yeah, okay. Nan smiled. Of course, you can. Okay.
No, sorry, Ahmad.
Okay.
And you're next, Ahmed.
Mia, Ahmed, I.
Sorry, go ahead, Ahmad.
Okay, yeah. Nan smiled. Of course you can, she replied. Just tell us what to do. Feeling as pleased as Punch that my plans could now go ahead, I began to make a mental list of all the things I would have to do. The first thing was to invite my guests. I rode my bike all over town, paying a visit to each of my mother's 3 best friends to give them the details. Then, over the following week, I bought supplies for the party, sneaking them around to my grandparents' parents' house for them to keep until they were needed.
Okay, great. And we've got a couple of things here. So, and then grandparents. So he has 2 grandparents. So the house belongs to his grandparents. So we say my grandparents' house. The house belongs to his grandfather and his grandmother. So a little extra pronunciation there. All right. So when did he know that he won over his grandparents? How did he know that he managed to convince them?
Because Nanny smiled, and of course you can do.
No, but it's with the smile, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this. I don't know for sure, but as soon as grandmother smiled, he knew he had won, and so he was very pleased. To be as pleased as Punch is kind of an old-fashioned expression. I don't use it, but he was very happy. All right. So he began to make a mental list of all the things that he would have to do. Okay, and so great. And now, what is sneaking?
Hiding.
Good. Now, but a little more than hiding.
Secretly.
Yes.
Without
Secretly.
knowing.
Yeah, right. So he bought the supplies for the party, and he secretly moved them around to his grandparents' house. Okay, great. Good. Okay, let's keep moving here. So the party is coming together, inviting his mom's best friends. Okay, and let's go to Ahmet. Are you there?
Yeah, I am here.
Great. Where are you connecting from, Ahmet?
From Turkey.
Okay, good. Could you please read this for us?
Okay. But how do we get mom over here without her suspecting anything? I asked none. Not much ever got past my mother. Her knowledge of these things that went on behind her back was astounding, sometimes baffling. I know, said Nan. Well, sorry, we'll tell her that a relative from the east is popping in to visit us and that they have some information for her family tree. At that moment, I thought my Nan was the cleverest person in the world. That's fantastic, Nan. I gosh, that is just so fantastic.
Okay, great. All right. And so they've got a problem. What is the problem? Sorry?
They don't want to suspect her mother.
Yeah, they don't want her to suspect about the party. But what's the problem with this mum? I mean, this is a good thing, but what's the problem with her? What's going to make this really difficult? Not much ever got past my mother. What does that expression mean?
Can you say one more time?
Yeah, I'm highlighting it. Not much ever got past my mother.
She usually knew everything what happened in the house.
Yeah, great. Okay, now I'm going to turn off the screen share here for a second. Now, for something to get past you means that it goes past you and you don't notice. Now, of course, this is just an expression. We usually say something like this, where it went over your head. So you didn't understand a joke, or when somebody said something, you didn't understand it. It went over your head, but not his mom. She understood everything, and when things were happening behind
It goes in
her
one
back,
ear and
no, sorry, going in one ear and out the other is a little different. Sorry. Yeah, it's for something to go over your head or to get past you, and that's just the fact that you did not clue in, you did not realize the real situation, but not his mom. And she was just like amazing, astounding. It was magical, or like difficult to believe. Baffling is confusing how she knew the things that were going on behind her back. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so she was very, very clever. And so how are we going to get her over to the grandparents' place without her suspecting anything? And, well, they're going to tell her that a relative is popping in, which means to visit kind of quickly. Yeah, just pop in. If you say to a friend, just pop in whenever you're in town. So if they're in town, they can just come to the door without calling first. They don't have to worry.
Pop in also similar like stop by?
Yeah, to stop in, to stop by. Yeah, just stop by. Perfect.
Okay.
Great. So just pop in, just stop by. All right, let's keep going. Great job, everybody. And we're going to go to Armando. Are you there? Okay, we're going to go on to Atil.
Yes.
Please, could you read this?
Okay. The following day, Nan rang my mother to tell her the news. Finally, Saturday came. I am going to hang out with Michael, I told my mother after lunch. She didn't notice I was wearing my next to best clothes. I raced around to my grandparents' house and found that Nan and Granddad had already set out the coffee cups, plates, snacks, and had even bought a couple of bottles of wine for the occasion. The cake looked amazing with a ring of unlit candles standing up in the whipped cream. I blew up a few balloons to add to the party atmosphere.
Okay, good. So typical. These are real stories. So I just want to help you with whipped cream. All right. And so, yeah, we've got everything. But he was just going to go spend some time to hang out with his friend. But he was wearing his almost best clothes, his next to best clothes. So he could have given it away there. So, good. Here's just this is for a little boy or a little girl's first birthday, but typical homemade birthday decorations. All right, if I can go to the next person. Hazel, please, could you read this for us?
Yes, yes. One by one, the guests rolled up with their presents, but I was so full of anticipation that I didn't perform my duties as host very well. I paid more attention to the front window, waiting for my mother to arrive, than I did to the people I'd invited to help celebrate her birthday. Here she is, I shouted as I watched her walking down the path toward the house, her arm cradling a stack of files, notepads, and photos. I could tell she didn't suspect a thing. The doorbell rang. Nan answered.
Okay, great. Good job with the reading. Nice, nice emotion. And so, what was he talking about here in the first paragraph?
Now the author is expecting his mother to come to the party, and
what should he have been doing? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
He wasn't very attentive with his guests.
Yes.
because he was very anxious to see her mother coming.
His mother.
His mother.
Wonderful.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. And how does he know that she doesn't suspect a thing?
Because his mother had a lot of books and files in her hands, and she was he suspects that his mother didn't suspect a thing.
Right. So what was she thinking? Anybody?
She is thinking about, really, they talk about the family tree.
Right, exactly. She brought all her family tree information because she was going to meet one of her relatives. Okay, so perfect. Let's move this down and great. Sorry, Mine?
Okay. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I heard my mother say. She always said that even though she was never late. Footsteps coming down the short hallway toward the kitchen. Then she appeared. Surprise, we all shouted. Then look on my mother's face was worth $1 million. Her mouth was agape and her eyes watered. We started singing Happy Birthday as Mom choked back her tears. The smile on her face was wider than I had ever seen it before. It was all his idea, said my granddad. I think I blushed. Happy birthday, Mom, I said, giving her a big hug. I love you.
Okay, and that's it. So, great. So it worked. And just this is the phrase, even though she was never late. So she always said, I'm sorry I'm a bit late, even though she was never late. That's kind of something that Canadians do. We say sorry for something that we didn't do. All right. And so, great. Her eyes watered. She was choking back the tears. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, she's trying not to cry. So she's very emotional. Okay. She had the widest smile on her face. And the grandfather pointed it at his grandson, saying, hey, it was all his idea. And he blushed from all the attention. So, well done. Hopefully, that sort of changed some of the dynamics in that family. A little bit more respect for mom.
Happy
All
end.
right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very, very happy ending.
Yes.
Yeah, very
Yes.
happy ending. Okay, and so some comments, please, from people. Ahmad, do you
Yeah.
have a comment about the story? You can talk about the level of the English. You can talk about your relationship with your mom or birthday
Yeah.
parties, whatever you want.
Yeah, okay. In general, I like really to make a surprise celebration. If it was birthday or something else, yeah. I learned many new vocabularies here from this lesson.
Right.
The thing that we don't realize really that parents, um, I don't know how to say in English, stand or bear a lot and suffer a lot because of their children. We don't feel that or realize that, but at least we need to appreciate this to be appreciated.
Yeah, they have to tolerate a lot or withstand. To withstand, I think is the word that you're looking for.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. And so, excellent. Thank you for your comments. Armand, well, I'm going to move on.
Yes, I am here. I am here.
Armando, sorry.
Yes,
go ahead,
hello.
please.
I am here in the class all the time.
Okay,
but my laptop is an old model. It's very slow. For sometimes when I want to participate, if I change the window to other window, is very slow. And maybe you think that I am not there, but I am here.
Okay, I'm sorry. We can hear you perfectly. So good. Please share your comment with us.
Excellent. No, the level is excellent. This is my first English class with you. My English is not very well. I am learning for myself, but I want try to practice more often. And I think the class is very interesting, and I would like to be there very often. But my PC is very slow.
Okay.
And for example, when you put my microphone silence, and I want to come back, it's very late. And for that reason, I am very quiet. But at this moment, I say.
I'm sorry. It must have been very frustrating. Sometimes we get students who don't respond at all. So good. All right. And just quickly, if these classes are interesting, I need people to come to my Facebook page and give me specific ideas on topics that are interesting for you. And I can make classes where you're reading, listening to, and watching content about the things that you are interested in. And that's a great way to improve your English. So great. Thank you. Welcome. I'm going to go on to Atil.
Yes.
Actually, share a comment with us?
Okay. Actually, I don't need to prepare any celebration for my mother because I am lucky. Because my mother, the date of birthday is at New Year's Day.
Okay, so right.
And every year I have to celebrate.
It's impossible to forget.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cheating. You need to have a separate birthday party for her one year.
Yeah, maybe some wine.
Okay. All right. Great comment. Thank you. Hazel, a comment for you, please.
Yes, an emotional story.
Mm-hmm.
We all, I think, like to please and to surprise our mothers.
Yes. Yeah. And the transformation, I think I was always essentially quite mature. But I think some people changed, where they were very immature when they were young, and then they became mature. There was a big change through adolescence, and they realized that they were not treating their family members well. That must be difficult for some people. I think the author experienced that.
Yes, and it usually happens like this because during the teenager period, all children are difficult and don't pay attention for emotions, and he quickly became a good person, an emotional and kind person.
Yeah, great. Mine, a comment from you, please?
Yeah, it's very emotional story, and actually, I and my sister, we were fighting all the time when we are kids. But after my father was officer Navy, and we haven't seen him very often, and we went to surprise party with him when we was kids, and my mother was a little bit jealous, and then we went to another surprise party with her, and it was fun. I remember my childhood time.
Now, you had a party for her?
First, we did party with my
okay.
for my father, then my mother.
We use the verb to have. So we had a party for him. She was a little bit jealous, so we had a party for her. Great. And Omar, could you finish the class, please, with a comment?
I think this book was based on my real life. I don't know. When you were reading it, I feel like I'm reading my past.
I felt
so. If this book was a bestseller, this book is going to is a bestseller. So wait till my book. I'm considering writing a book about my real life. It's a great deal.
Well, no, but these are collections of real stories from real people's lives. And so it doesn't get any simpler than that. All right. Super job, everybody. You really did a great job explaining what the story was about, what the author was communicating. And that, in my opinion, is the secret to improving your English. Focus on understanding, and the grammar and the vocabulary and the pronunciation will work themselves out over time. But great. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.